Kyron, what an iconic, incredible moment for you and your entire family.
Yes, it's something that I'll remember forever. You know, when I'm grey and old, I can look back and hopefully I've got grandkids and, you know, I can say to them, you know, I was a world snooker champion. I was the best in the world in 2024. So, yeah, just delighted and so special to have all of my family there as well.
There have been some really nice guys to have won the world title. Mark Selby right up at the top of that list. But I don't think I've ever, in 17 years of covering the Crucible, I don't think I've ever seen such raw emotion from you, your brother Taylor, Finlay and Bailey running on, Sophie, your mum and dad. It was just an amazing explosion of feelings.
Yeah, because you bottle it up, and you know we're a family that understand what it takes to get to this point. You know, we're all together at the same hotel. Everyone's got their separate rooms. I haven't barely seen anyone over these past 2 weeks because, you know, we keep ourselves to ourselves, and they know they don't want to get too far ahead of themselves. You know, if we're sat in the bar and I get a sense that they think I've already won it, you know, forget about it. It's not going to happen. So we've had to bottle it up and hold it back, even though we've felt that something special is coming around the corner. So, yeah, obviously that was just the release of all that emotion at the end, and you know, you take the bottle top off and, yeah, the rest is history.
And there was just something different about your campaign. I think the holiday in Portugal, just to de-stress and to come back feeling a little bit fresher, seemed to have worked, because Steve Davis and I were commentating on that first round match, and Davis said, right, it wasn't day one, but it was the first round, it was pretty early, and Steve Davis said right away, there is something different about Kyron Wilson moving around the table. He spotted it immediately.
Yeah, do you know what? I've done a lot of exhibitions this sort of season, and it's just freed me up a little bit. I think, you know, not only financially, which is great, but when you're playing an exhibition, you release the shackles. Your natural instincts come to the fore, and yeah, obviously I've tried to take that into my season, and I've played a lot quicker. I've scored a lot heavier, and yeah, who knows? I think it definitely took less out of me getting into the final, whereas maybe Jack in the final, maybe he was a little bit too tired because he's kind of, you know, not quite as quick as me maybe. But, you know, that's something that I've learned. So, you know, hopefully, you know, that experience holds him in good stead for the future as well.
And just on Jack, you know, at no point did he give up in that match.
No.
He turned that into a compelling contest because he kept coming back at you and kept coming back at you, and there were these little ebbs and flows in momentum. He'd get to within two, and then you'd think, oh, hang on a minute. He could get to within one here if he wins these last two, and then you pull away again. It was cat and mouse. Once he started to erode that massive lead, it was a little bit cat and mouse throughout, and that made it exciting.
Yeah, I knew what, you know, being in a world final takes out of you. So, you know, I kind of looked at Jack in the first session of the final, and I remember how I felt when I played Ronnie in that stage, and I was shattered, and I thought, right, you know, I've got to take advantage of this early, and I feel like I hit the ground running. I played a fantastic session to go 7-0 up, and, you know, really scored heavy throughout that first day, and then it was just about maintaining that lead. I didn't ever want him to get too close. I know he got within 2 frames a couple of times, but it was about pulling away after that. I made a couple of key clearances, especially the one that I pinched the back end of last night, you know, needing a snooker, pinching that on the black. That was, you know, incredible drama in there. There was a lot of intensity in there. There was a lot of pressure in there. So, yeah, obviously winning that frame was key.
And this might be impossible to answer because you've literally just won it like 35 minutes ago. What do you think your overriding memory of this whole campaign will be many years down the line? You know, when you and Taylor are having a whiskey in front of the fire, when you're both in your 60s and you think, oh, do you remember 2024? Have you got any clue as to what the overriding memory might be, or, you know, many years down the line?
I think it's hard to just kind of sum it up in one go. I think there's going to be so many memories that I'm never going to forget. You know, embracing my brother, embracing my wife, embracing my kids. You know, I remember Finlay, I say remember, it was only half hour ago, it feels like years ago, but he came out to me, he said, Dad, you're a world champion. And I thought, wow, like, what a beautiful thing to say to me. And I think, You know, he's 9 years old. Bailey's still a little bit young. You know, he's still 6 and doesn't quite realise the enormity of it. But Finley understands, and to have them as a part of it, it's a little bit frowned upon to have your kids around a major competition like this. But do you know what? I just thought, you know, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to do it with the family, something that money can't buy that experience. So hopefully they'll remember it forever.
As will all of we. Listen, it was absolutely incredible. Many, many congratulations. It was a privilege to watch the emotion on the floor. Roll on the after party.
Yeah. Sambucas?
Only if you're buying with that 500 grand.